Modern sealed is a trap. Modern sealed investment is a scam. You're being scammed, you're being misled, and it's happening by the droves. What you have is scammers who've been scammed by other scammers, trying to scam other scammers and wannabe scammers to try to make the most money possible. It's literally a paradox of scam. You see what I'm saying? Welcome back. Name's Dalai Han. Today I want to talk about the scam of all scams when it comes to investing in modern sealed. It's wild. It is absolutely wild that anybody, actually, people are stupid, all right? And I'm saying this with the kindest of heart. People are stupid. You look on to the next best thing. You look for quick lottery ticket wins. You're looking for the big bang buck dollar signs. It's crazy. People are crazy. Not you. You're smart. You're a wonderful person. I appreciate you. I want to talk about the scam of investing in modern sealed. Because at the end of the day, it is. And it's mind-blowing that there's people out there that haven't even caught on and that are defending this thing ruthlessly. And some of the people that are defending it aren't even in it. They ain't even invested themselves, but they want to. They see the shiny lights. They see the bright, shiny colors and all the potential that they see. Brother, you're scammed. I'm going to tell you why. Years ago, when I say years ago, I mean like a decade ago, you could definitely make the argument that investing in sealed was smart. Why? Not many people truly did it. You saw sealed in the store, you saw sealed at your local game store, you saw sealed at shops or shows, whatever you want to see, but you never really saw it in people's homes. You never really saw it on videos and people making videos and content on it. Back 10 years ago, social media was barely an infant. It's now blown up to some crazy, look at me scheme. You see what I'm saying? But you can make that argument, If you're familiar with Rudy, with Alpha Investment, he's a lad you want to definitely look at, and he gives you the inside scoop because this man's been doing it for decades, and he gives you all the knowledge and what, how, and how to do it. However, he got it in at a brilliant time. He did this decades ago. See what I'm saying? But the problem with it, if you didn't do it 10 years ago, and you're starting to do it in the last 3 years, let's say, the last 3 years, you got in too late. You might have gotten lucky here a time or two. You might have made some money a time or two, but guess what? You got sucked into the system. That system that is now, when it comes to modern sealed, people are over leveraging themselves. People are overbotting, they're over scalping. It's crazy to say that, you never thought, but people have overdone it. There's too many content creators who are making videos about talking on how you can make money with Pokemon cards. There's too many people saying, this is how you do it. There's too many people saying, follow me, watch how I do it, and then you can do it yourself. Pay this and pay that, and you'll get the inside scoop of what. At the end of the day, what you have is scammers who've been scammed by other scammers, trying to scam other scammers and wannabe scammers to try to make the most money possible. So now you got people who've been scammed, flexing on, I've seen ads, flexing on social media, people in their garages with hundreds of prismatic ETBs, UPCs, what you name it, hundreds. And they're like, hey, if you want to do what I do, you come leave a comment and then you get messaged by this person because you're like, I want to get 100,000 ETBs myself. I want to do it. You weirdo. And you comment, and this person DMs you some bot message that's blanket across the, some bots messaging you. Click this link, and then you get routed to, and now you click that link, and now you're getting third-party, advertisements because you don't realize that that's linked to something else. But yeah, it takes you to their website or takes you to their Discord, where now they say, hey, pay me this amount of money per month, and you're going to get inside scoop. You're going to get notifications immediately before anybody else, because that's what they tell you. before anybody else, right? There's free Discords out there. Free. No strings attached, free Discords that ping you the moment anything drops on Pokemon Center or anything drops on any website that sells Pokemon products. Free. So anyways, you got these people flexing that they got the inside scoop. So they rope in some people, right? And then they go, hey, you want to really get yourself all nice and doit? Sign up for my bot program. Sign up for my bot website. It will bot websites for you so that you just click how many you want, and then within seconds you got them in a shopping cart. Then you can check out with whatever credit card you have on file, and then you got thousands of ETBs shipped to your doorstep. You don't have to do anything except pay that credit card bill later. And they did this to thousands of unwilling people, unknowing people, some knowing because they've been doing this for. Then you got a scam artist scamming people who want to scam, or people who've been scamming. It's literally a paradox of scam. You see what I'm saying? So these people got scammed. They're paying these people hundreds of dollars to get these bots. And guess what? The bots, yeah, sure, most of them work. Because clearly there's people sitting on products. It's even blowing the minds of people like Rudy, who's a multi-millionaire who's been building up an inventory of Pokemon and Magic and all these other crazy products for decades. It's even shocking him that there's these people out there sitting on tens of thousands of products, it seems like. Thousands of one product when it comes to like Destined Rivals, Chaos Rising, you name it. They're sitting on thousands of these particular ETBs alone. So who knows what other products they have? They probably have hundreds upon thousands of UPCs, hundreds upon thousands of Prismatic Evolutions, Phantasmal Flame, you name it. They probably have storage lockers full of this stuff. Why? Because they were told by some dope, this is how it works. I've made millions doing this. Sure, they may have, but now the cat's out of the bag. You got dozens of shorts being uploaded daily by random noobs telling you this is how it's done, this is how I make bank, and this is what I was going to. And guess what? It worked for a time. There's a short window that works, and that window is closed. It's closing faster and tighter than ever. Because guess what you're doing? Not only scamming people, because that's how the scalping, what do you ever want to call it? Scalping, scamming, that's what I call it. Other people might call it investing, flipping, entrepreneurial sponsor. Shut up. You're scamming. You're a scam artist. All you care about is quick money. So now you have all these people doing this to each other. It's hilarious. But what have you done? Truly, what have you done? You buried yourself, because what you're causing is false demand. Pokemon did not have an issue with how many product they were printing, because the demand, it was there, but the supply more than kept up with how much product they were pumping into the system. Okay? You following? All right. Turn up your IQ points a touch more. Open up your earbuds a touch more. There was enough product to go around for the demand, because true collectors, true hobbyists, true gamers of the Pokemon community, they were eating up enough of the product, but there are still plenty there. All right? But what all these fakes have done, all these scammers, what they have done is they have bought out all the product. Thousands each person. And there's thousands of these people that have done it. There's thousands of these people that have thousands upon thousands of product themselves, which leads to millions of sealed product, right? So that causes a fake scarcity. Fake scarcity. I've been saying it for months. It's a fake scarcity. We got a hoarding problem, all right? Now you got all this fake scarcity out there, which means there's more of a demand. Oh my goodness, look at the numbers. Look at them. People are are backing this up by saying, I can't find anything in stores. I haven't been able to find this particular product ever. Maybe I saw this once. Oh, this, that. All right, those are people are feeding that narrative, which is true. You can't find any of these products in store, certain products anyways. You've never been able to. And what does that say? Well, the data don't lie. The numbers ain't lying. It's true. What you got is you got people falsifying this demand by hoarding all this product. It's telling all the people that are looking at the statistics and data that we need more of this product. So what's Pokemon do as a printing company? They're going to print more of that product. They've been holding off on printing this product. Why? The 30th. Because we clearly see the first wave is going to be obscene. The amount of product that's coming out. They're not stupid. They spend millions on marketing, millions on R&D, millions on research in all these different types of ways. They got teams on teams on teams that research, and they know for a fact that the 30th anniversary was going to be the hottest topic on product out there in like the 5 years since the 25th came out. They know this. So they clearly spent a lot of time printing those multiple different types of products for the 30th. First wave, mind you. First wave. Yeah, you're going to have the second wave, which, yeah, they might have already printed, and that's probably allocated with the first print numbers, but they're going to reprint it. And they're going to reprint it again. It's Pokemon. It's what they're going to do. You're silly if you think, they like this. Brother, they wouldn't be trying to open up new facilities and new printing manufacturing and maxed out their capacity to print. They wouldn't have been doing that if they want to falsify the numbers and keep it scarce. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? All these other products are being printed, and they're going to get printed again because they're in print for like some 2-3 years, especially when it comes to popular products. Tell me, Destined Rivals, apparently the first print run wasn't enough. Guess what? This reprint is going to be even crazier. Guess what? They're probably going to print it again, right? They're going to go through the line. They're going to go Destined Rivals, Black and White, Black Bolt and White Flare. They're going to do some Phantasmal Flames, you know what I'm saying? They're going to do some Ascended Heroes like crazy. They might get some more, Prismatic before it goes out of print. That's been hot. They might be already doing that. And then once that goes through, they got the new sets coming out. That's the first wave. And then boom, right back into reprints. So Destined Rivals has got a year left to reprint it. Wow, this new facility is awesome. We just went from 10 billion cards output to 13, 14 billion cards output in a year. The demand has been there. We know what's happened. Let's flood the market because people are going to eat it up. And you're going to get those stupid people that are already sitting on like 5,000 Destined Rivals ETBs that don't want to sell because it's the investment. And then once this reprint comes, they're going to try to bot more and get another 5,000. They're going to be sitting on tens of thousands of products. That's going to happen. But you're telling Pokemon there's not enough of this product, when in reality, there's more than enough of this product. So now let me ask you this. What happens when they keep printing this stuff? Are those scammers going to keep eating it up? I don't think so. Because what we're seeing right now is a lot of these scammers are trying to offload their product. They're trying to offload their product to people like Rudy, who can afford thousands upon thousands of ETBs at a time from one person. And there's only so many of those people out there. Those people own card shops. Those people are, born into wealth. Those people have made their own empires, just like Rudy and, who else. But there's only so many of those people out there. And guess what? Those people aren't stupid. And they buy at a percentage, a very low percentage, right? And what you have is these people are not willing to sell and make a deal with these Rudies out there. They're not willing to cut their losses and sell thousands of their ETBs because they want to get this price. They want to get that price. And they might get some of that prices right now, but it's going to be small and few between. They're going to sell a few ETBs here and there. You're not going to offload hundreds at a time. No siree. So what are these people? They're greed. They're still telling themselves, I can make money off of this. I can still flip this for a profit. When in reality, once the printing machine keeps hitting them and hitting them and hitting them, and the price doesn't go anywhere except for down, then what? Then you're forced to offload and cut your ego. You're going to cut your losses and finally offload and recoup whatever you could have. It's truly sad. Again, this is scammers on scammers on scammers doing this to each other. So what do the scammers do? Let's go back to that. Because I've been approached months ago, like 6-7 months ago, when the hype was there, but kind of coming down, but then it came back again. I was approached to start making content to bring in people to buy a monthly subscription to someone's Discord. I told them no. I got the proof. Hopefully, hopefully a text thread is still there. If I can find it, I'll post it on screen for you. I straight up said no. I ain't a greaser that way. I could have made bank. They were offering me, royalties on how many people I brought in. I ain't doing that. Mans ain't like that. I'm for the people. I'm pissed off at these scammers. I'm pissed off for the people who want to be scammers being scammed by scammers, right? And then we have a paradox loop of scam, because now once these people have got scammed, then they try to scam others and it's not working as much. So what do? They resort to making content on how to scam other scammers. It's mind-blowing. The price of all this modern sealed isn't going up like this. It's going to either stay like this or come down like crazy. And you guys are going to be holding the bags. It's going to be hilarious. But at the end, I feel bad for some of these people, because a lot of these people, let's say they couldn't find a job, all right? Because there's a big generation right now that cannot find a job. They didn't build up enough skill, right? And there's a lot of reasons to blame for that. But at the end of the day, they didn't build up a skill in the workforce, and they couldn't find a job because, either the companies they've been applying for are looking for a different type of skill set that these people just don't have, or they're trying to sell out and get some cheaper labor in there. Well, you know what I'm saying? That happens. So I feel bad for a lot of these kids, because at the end of the day, a lot of these scammers, all of these scalpers that I've seen in line when I'm just trying to get some product myself, they're young kids. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. They're young. They should all be building their skills in a work zone somewhere, building some real skill, doing something, but they're not. They're standing in line waiting for a prismatic drop so that they can flip it for double, triple the price. So I don't blame them when they're trying to find some quick money here and they found it. But guess what? Then they get roped into the scam and think they can always do this. And then they over leverage themselves. They're taking out loans. They're taking out credit cards. They're maxing out the credit cards. Now they're ruining their credit history. They're ruining their reputation. They're building up in their head that, I can do this. And then when it happens, what happens to their mentality and the psyche? It gets crumbled. Their ego goes dashed away. Now you're left being a keyboard warrior, trying to solidify yourself by, I did the right thing. Stay mad, people. Stay mad. It's like, man, that only works for how long? This is not a longevity thing. It ain't. It really ain't. Build a skill. Go do something smart. Leave the hobbies with the hobby. Because again, what makes a collector item a collector item? Scarcity. A limited print run of certain things. A low amount of certain things. Low population of certain things. Right? If the scarcity came from people buying it out, most of those people that are buying it out are collectors and hobbyists and people who rip the product, right? If that's where that scarcity came from, then the demand is going to be there naturally, right? If Pokemon didn't keep feeding that, the scarcity stays and that product becomes super collectible later. You see what I'm saying? But we don't have that right now. Modern sealed is a trap. Modern sealed investment is a scam. You're being scammed, you're being misled, and it's happening by the droves. So don't be that silly person. Get out while you can. See what I'm saying? Either way, I'm Dale Han. That's my rant for the day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next flip.